Hi, my name is Allie with the Sea Owl, and welcome to your message from water, which is part of an 8-element collaboration. So there are 8 creators, and we came together, each of us, to channel an element. And so this is the channeling of the element of water and beyond, I would like to say. Each of the individuals in this collaboration are just next level. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, this entire reading was a dream come true for me, and so much interesting information that I was not anticipating to come through did come through in each of these groups. Lots of past life information came up as well, which I found really interesting. Water had a lot to say, and the element of water in conjunction with spirit really had a lot of information to bring through for you. So before we get started, really, obviously you can see you have 3 different piles to choose from. Pile 1 is Andromedan are encouraging you. Speak your truth and lead the way. Pile 2 is the moon. Intuition, subconscious, hidden aspects of self, fear, the unknown, and emotions. And pile 3 is the dragons. Dragons bless you with fierce protection. The beautiful thing about this reading is if you feel called to more than one pile, then there's absolutely a message for you there. And since I've already recorded all 3, I can definitely say that you're never going to pick wrong, but it would not surprise me if you do feel drawn to 1 or 2 piles in any order. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Please don't forget about your 7 other readings. You have 7 other readings aside from this one and this beautiful 8-element collaboration. And you can find the timestamps in the description box below if you would like to jump ahead to your reading. I would, for those who are interested, like to set an intention before we begin with some sound cleansing and just some deep breathing to ground our energy together and to help set you up to receive the messages that you're most ready to receive right now. So if you have headphones on, please be mindful of that, as I'm going to use the singing bowl. And I also filled it with water for, obviously, for what we're doing here. But yeah, so go ahead and close your eyes unless you're driving. Please don't do that. And take a deep breath in through your nose for about 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 2 to 3 seconds. And then release out your mouth for about 5 seconds. Feel your shoulders drop as you do this, and do that as many times as you feel called. And I'm going to use the singing bowl. You may meditate on which pile you feel, or piles you feel the most drawn to. And once you decide, your timestamp is in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading. I'm so grateful to be spending this precious time with you. And so this is for those of you who picked the Andromedan card. Andromedans are encouraging you. Speak your truth and lead the way. I was meditating prior to your pile, and I kept getting an image of a flamingo. And then I heard Between Worlds, which is actually a deck or a card in a deck from Colette Baron Reed, Wisdom of the Oracle. But it also felt like there was more of a message here for you, pile 1, in this first part of your reading. You're reading about water, so all of this will tie back to what water is wanting to communicate with you. And so when I was thinking of the flamingo, I was remembering a story. I guess it's not a story. I think it's true. Where after flamingos have been taking care of their offspring for a while, they're obviously really tired, and their pink color starts to fade pretty dramatically to just, I think, kind of this kind of sickly off-white pinkish color. I don't think they look very healthy. And then after time, and their offspring starts to grow a little bit, and they get to have more of themselves back, their color starts coming back. And so I'm immediately really drawn to the lavender in this card. I'm going to hold it up and hopefully that you can see it. And particularly the wings. So I feel first, I want to say birds, and particularly birds who spend a lot of time around water are very significant guides and messengers for you. I'm also picking up heavy Jupiterian energy. So Jupiter may play a pretty significant role in your chart. It could be your chart ruler. And Jupiter is also the expander, the abundance bringer, so much more, but that's kind of what's coming to mind. And so I think it is important as we begin this new journey. You begin your new journey here. Maybe we're doing the journey together. I don't know what that means. But as you begin your new journey, right off the bat, they need you to know that I'm hearing luck is on your side. Things are really going to be turning in your favor now, and I feel this deep rising of, it's like this deep rising of excitement and also just utter overwhelming gratitude. Like, I almost feel this is future you saying, you know, we did it. We really made it. And water, this beautiful element of water, is coming through and saying, this is how we get you to that point, through healing with water. So I'm going to start your reading by pulling some cards from the Healing Waters Oracle. This is the newest deck from Rebecca Campbell. You may be familiar with her work with the Starseed Oracle and the Rose Oracle, I believe. I don't own that deck, although it's on my wish list because it looks really beautiful. So thank you so much to the Spirit of Water for pile 1. What's the first message that you would like to bring forth for them? The first message from you, Spirit of Water. For pile 1. hearing the number 3, also Hecate may be an important guide for you. Thank you so much. So, interesting. I do think it's important to note Isle of Avalon here is at the bottom, and Avalon has been coming up pretty heavily for me lately. Maybe it has for you also, in this merging of different timelines in history and their significance now in the present moment. So I feel compelled to just leave her right there while we look at the cards that we received. Oh my goodness. Mother of the salt waters, passion, wild love, open your heart, let love in. Cleansing, releasing the old energetic, tune up new beginnings. And plunge, don't hold back, it's time. Go for it, dive in. And this card is actually directly connected to, oh, I have some sand on here from our goodies that I put up here for our reading. So that might be significant also. I feel as though you may feel that in the realm, in the big pool or ocean of what you are feeling called to do, you may be struggling with feelings of, I hate to use the word insignificance, but maybe down at the core, feelings of imposter syndrome, feelings of like you are this tiny drop in a bucket of all these thousands, bazillion grains of sand. And the Andromedans and water are very, very much wanting you to know that, like, there is no other grain of sand that has been molded and ground down from whatever mountain it used to be into this very specific grain of sand that is completely and utterly unique. It is as unique as your fingerprint. It's as unique as a snowflake. And that's you. And I think to a degree, that feeling of maybe insignificance, of feeling like you are one grain of sand in a world of all the grains of sand. And maybe it feels overwhelming to really speak your truth. I am getting the feeling that you're not a stranger to putting yourself out there. But I do feel like there is a pretty heavy element of you having reservations or hesitations, rather, of speaking your truth all the way. And so maybe what that looks like for you is speaking something that no one else is speaking. Maybe for you, this means you are communicating with extraterrestrial beings or ascended masters or beings that our human brains have not even been able to comprehend yet. Maybe it is, I'm getting this feeling of animorphs, actually, if you're familiar with that. And I can kind of see you being, this is my dream, I can kind of see you being this animorph in real life. And you're getting more comfortable with the idea. You're like in between worlds. A lot like that Colette Baron Reed card with the flamingo. You're in between worlds, between letting people see who you are and really, and like being in your full animorph mode, right? And the Andromedans and water are really helping encourage you and kind of like push you, but almost like in a current. You know, it's not like shoving you, it's not berating you. It's like you're on, oh my gosh, kind of like what's going on here. Like you're on this raft, kind of. And I was thinking of like a lazy river. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but basically you're on a lazy river in this inner tube and you're kind of chilling because you've gotten to a pretty like nice point, and then the spirit of water kind of comes along with a decent current and kind of pushes you out of the inner tube, and then you're just like, it's you. Sink or swim, show yourself. That's what I just heard. That sounds kind of, I don't know what that was. Okay. That's funny. So don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. I mean, I'm also getting a strong feeling of angelic. I'm getting this may be a confirmation for some of you. If you feel as though you are an earth angel or even reincarnated as a type of angelic being, this is further confirmation for you that you intentionally, your beautiful angelic soul, intentionally decided to incarnate here at this specific time to speak your truth. What has been coming through for me a lot lately, and I feel like this kind of relates to this Mother of the Saltwater card here. What's been coming through a lot for me lately is maybe you are meant to be speaking truths that have not been shared before. The actual unknown. Channeling systems and beings that have not been channeled before. And this is not something that, now let me back up. I do not believe in a hierarchy. I believe that anyone and everyone listening to this can do exactly what I'm doing. This is my passion, is to help encourage and show you through these readings that you can guide yourself, lean on yourself with the help of others who have been down this path, and find yourself with spirit. But I say this to say that you do feel like a soul who is here to channel things that the average cat it's just not part of their soul purpose. It's not that somebody couldn't, although I'm kind of feeling like maybe not. I mean, I do feel like you have to be born. This is getting really deep, but we're going to go with it. There is a theory about lineages, being born into certain lineages that may help you be able to tap into these gifts that you want to tap into in this lifetime. I hope that makes sense. Again, I want to stress that I am in no way saying that one person is better than another. It's just different jobs, and sometimes some jobs are a little more intensive and specific and meant for a certain kind of person. I hope that makes sense. I mean, we need the individuals who find joy in serving other humans at mealtime. And we also need individuals who find joy in running countries, okay? One is not better than the other, but they have different strengths. That's all I'm getting at here, so I'll leave it at that. I hope that makes sense. You are someone, saying that, you are someone who has these great strengths to channel this. They keep bringing me back to Isle of Avalon, and I also have a piece of Merlinite here. I do feel like Merlin in particular is a guide that you should look at more if you're not already working with him. He's a very interesting teacher. I can feel him laughing at me saying it that way. He's a very interesting teacher. I really do have such a soft spot for him, actually. He's something else. And so I do feel, if you feel drawn to that, if you get a ping inside, mentioning Merlin as a guide, I feel like you should follow that a little more. The mother of the salt waters. Yeah, passion, wild love, open your heart, let love in. I feel kind of like this picture suggests. I really do feel like you have already been doing this work. You know, you can kind of see her emerging here through the water. And this is reminding me a lot of a moth, actually. I see her, you know, you can see her emerging through the water, and this tells me that you've already been doing this stuff to kind of unharden your heart, is what I'm hearing. Whether you knew it was hardened or not, you figured out that it had been, I hate to say hardened, but definitely closed off with intention, subconsciously or otherwise, because of what you had been through in your pain. That's what I was getting at. The pain that you have been through, what you have endured, not only in this lifetime, but in many, many lifetimes. With this cleansing card, it gives me a feeling of a sarcophagus here. And it's almost like the old you and the new you. And there's this chrysalis period in a sarcophagus where truly every bit of the old you, and it's not just from this life, it's from every life before. Every bit of you is going through this cleansing, purging, birthing through the chrysalis, through the pain. This feels like number 9 as far as spiritual awakenings have gone for you. I mean, I feel like you're not a stranger to spiritual awakenings. And I feel like you've even had a Kundalini awakening and you're still experiencing spiritual awakenings. And they're saying that's the point for the wounded healer. Hi, Chiron. That's the point for the wounded healer. We're moving through all of this pain. We're transmuting it. We're purging it. So much has been being purged through the root chakra right now. And this isn't just specific to humanity. Mother Earth is going through this also. And Mother Water. I heard another reader say this earlier, and it really struck me. She said, Mother South America, Mother Water, Mother Air, you know, Grandfather Time, Father Sun, and I know these things, and I work with these elements, and we're doing an element reading, you know, this beautiful collaboration. But when I heard her say it that way, I had never thought of it in that way before. Our planet is going through so much. We are going through so much. And it's hard to navigate just all the spiritual stuff and the awakenings and then just regular life. And you're still doing it. That's the point. In the midst of all of this, you're still doing it. And we have all these different elements that want to work with us, even in the midst of their pain. It's this reciprocal energy right now, where as we heal ourselves, we're also helping heal Mother Earth. And as she's healing, she's able to offer that more to us. It's everything in creation is in this beautiful symbiotic process, and we are a part of that. And it's just beautiful. So I feel very strongly that you particularly needed to hear that new beginnings are on the way. They're not just on the way, they're around the corner. And my right jaw has been hurting me so badly for the last 3 hours before your reading. I remember reading something recently about jaw pain or tooth pain. Sometimes being like a referred pain from an inner child wounding or something that we're not saying that needs to be said. The Andromeda card is really poking out here at me now. And there is a truth of yours that has not been spoken. As you are finishing up this final purging, cleansing, healing, rebirthing, as you are preparing for this plunge, they're asking you to go back to not your most recent past life, but your most prominent one. And this is, I'm seeing now why this is important that Avalon is coming up. In my personal experience with what my guides have given me and shamanic journeys I have gone on, it's my understanding that there was supposed to be a very important ascension that happened in that time period, and things did not go the way that we as a light worker collective had hoped. A lot of this has to do with Merlin and King Arthur and many of those major players that you have heard of. And your most prominent past life, in a recent sense, even though time does not exist, but anyway, was and is tied to that pain of Avalon. The pain of failure is what Spirit is telling me. This ascension process that we are experiencing now, this is not the first time we've attempted this. And I don't think that should really feel like much of a surprise to anyone. It's not that we haven't ascended, but the full ascension process has been on the books for this planet for a minute. And each time it gets met with destruction and failure. And in this 6th iteration is what they've given me, we are actually doing it this time. This is the reason for your pain here at present. This is the reason for this painful chrysalis birthing you are going through right now. And to really go back and get all those little, that's what shamanic journeying, a big part of it is about, is to go back and get these soul fragments, to bring them back, to integrate them now, so we don't have these pieces laying behind. And I really, really believe for you, for many of us, but there is a big piece of your soul left in Avalon, of that pain of not quite getting the proverbial job done. And at the same time, beautiful Spirit is reminding me to mention that at the same time, everything is as it should be and always will be. So, man, it's a lot of stuff that we're working through right now, but we're at the tail end of it. I feel very compelled to pull some more cards from a different deck. More messages from the Spirit of Water. Please and thank you, Spirit. More messages from the Spirit of Water. What do you want Group 1 to know, to be aware of? What is it that you want to say to them? I'm hearing for many of you, purple may be one of your favorite colors, and or it could be because it's related to your crown chakra. And I feel like you in particular, this is really cute and funny. This might just be for one person out there, but I feel like you might personify things a little bit I do this a lot, but, and maybe you're really fond of your crown chakra. Like maybe that was real, maybe your crown chakra was a really hard one for you to work through, and somehow you, like, maybe you're fond of that one. I'll say I'm fond of my my sacral. I guess I am fond of my sacral chakra, but I was going to say my solar plexus. So, yeah, or that could just be further message for someone out there. Okay, I'm using the Starseed Oracle now, and this is not a water deck, and we get a water card. So, water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Yeah. So, I want to make sure you can. I think it's imperative right now. They want me to look at the bottom here, lifting the veil. Yeah, it's imperative right now, first of all, for you to be drinking way more water and doing nourishing body care, replenishing type activities in or around water. If you like to take a bath, I would so encourage you to somehow make it a point for 7 days in a row to take a relaxing ritual type bath with salt water, particularly they're saying. I like to add different kinds of herbs to my ritual baths, and I feel compelled to mention hyssop is a really good herb for that, and it actually helps like break hexes, or just really clear any kind of severe negativity, negative energy that could be attached to you. And so when I'm really feeling heavy with that kind of stuff, I try to remind myself to take a salt bath and put some hyssop in there. And then I'll like to add some essential oils just because I'm bougie and it smells good. So I like use ylang ylang or something like that. Anyway, just ideas. Be sure you put it in like a little sachet or something so you don't have to clean a bunch of herbs out of your bathtub afterward. But this is an example of setting an intention and making it a habit. And so you have to do things in succession to make it a habit. Now, I'm not saying you need to do that kind of bath every single day for the rest of your life. If you feel called, then do it. That's amazing. But I do feel like it's time for you to set an intention schedule to care for yourself, in specific using water to do so. I do feel like that's really important. And just giving yourself grace to rest. In order for you to really speak your truth, they're telling me that you have to recharge. You have to replenish. I'm hearing INFJ or INFP. So if you've ever taken a Myers-Briggs personality test, you probably have, like, I'm just very much getting this right now. You probably very closely fall into one of those categories. And I am an INFJ, and I have always, like, even if I'm having the best time, when I hit hanging out with people, when I hit like that 4-hour mark, I have to leave. I have to be in my own energy. I have to recharge and reset. And I've always been that way. And I felt really bad about myself. Like, what's wrong with you? You don't want to hang out with your friends? And it's not that. It was I literally have to recharge. So I feel like maybe you're pushing through a little, because I do think you're feeling better. This is a very back and forth kind of reading, but I also feel like that is the energy that you have been experiencing as well. You can see the forest through the trees. You know why you're going through all of this, and yet you're kind of pushing yourself like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm healing. I'm going to do it. And they're saying you don't have to go so hard, you know. It's important to water your garden, just like this card says. Nourishment. nourishment. Think outside the box to nourish yourself. I would like to get an animal medicine card. So in the beginning of your reading, they were bringing up that you may have specific guides that work with you through birds, particularly feathered creatures that really enjoy hanging out near bodies of water. Now, Andromedans, how I have come to know them, show themselves as birds a lot. To me, anyway. They may show themselves differently to you, but there's really something here about birds and water. Can we touch on that more, please, Spirit of Water? Spirit guides, Spirit of Water for group 1. Further messages for group 1, please and thank you, Spirit. Beaver Spirit. Reversed. Okay, lay a solid foundation. So I feel like this is very much similar energy of working too hard, trying to power through. And I think you're doing this because in a way you are laying a solid foundation. That's why you're working so hard. But I'm hearing take a break. Like, take a break. I'm hearing that really loud right now. Thank you, Spirit. So beavers may be, I'm feeling like that, like beavers would be good animal medicine for you. And what do I mean by that? I mean, taking a page out of their book, trying to embody their energy. And in this situation, you've already got beaver energy in spades. Can you, and now it has to be balanced. That's what that is. You need balanced beaver energy. Thank you, Spirit. Any other animal? Thank you. And skunk spirit reversed. That is fascinating. With giraffe, see the big picture at the bottom of the deck. So with skunk spirit, we have number 54. So that reduces to a 9. And then we have 6 here. 6 and 9. I'm being reminded of the 369 theory, Nikola Tesla. But also Cancer, the zodiac sign of Cancer. You may be a Cancer. And also just balance. You are coming to the end of a cycle, and now it's kind of like time. I'm hearing practice what you preach. So I think you already do a really good job of this. It's taking it to the next level. It's literally putting your knowledge and your mindset and then putting it into practice. Now, what does this mean for you in particular? This means taking a time out. It means taking a time out. And it's not forever. I also feel there's more here with the skunk. I'm going to go ahead and turn these around. There's more here with the skunk medicine. So the protection message here for skunk says, not everyone will appreciate you. Many people have issues of their own to address, and you may trigger something in them. But if so, no matter. Skunk spirit calls you to be fully yourself without apology. That's what we were talking about. Now is a time for honesty and admitting that something does not sit right for you. You deserve self-respect that comes when you courageously choose to stand up for yourself and speak your truth in love. Remember who you are and what really matters to you and act with integrity. You will be so glad you did. I feel that this comes back to being your anamorph self. And maybe maybe you morph into a beaver. And you are, because I do feel like you are so easily able to lay that solid foundation, to see where things need to go, to put the pieces in place, right? To build this haven. And there's a motorcycle revving outside my window right now. And Spirit is wanting to reel you in a little bit, because you've got the go in spades. What you need more of is rest. So I'm feeling, particularly if you are a content creator and you're like, I have 6, just as an example, if you're like, I have 6 readings that I need to record by this date. And so then you're just kind of in autopilot mode, like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And I still feel like you're doing healthy stuff in here, but it's becoming too rigid. It's becoming too, like, this piece goes here and this piece goes here and this piece goes here. And that's also prohibiting you from really stepping out and showing yourself fully. I feel that very much. So we're going to get a few more cards here. I feel really, really, really compelled to draw more cards from this beautiful Oracle of Light deck. This deck was created by a soul sister of mine, and I'm just in love. I'm absolutely in love with it. It is one of the most powerful decks I have ever used. Look! Achievement! Rewards are manifesting. I mean, they could not be any more clear. You're doing all the things. Now it's time to take care of you so you can fully be yourself. Like, no smoke and mirrors, no... This is really beautiful, because I know that you have been working so hard to let your human self be seen, okay? And then we have the Lynx, offers you sharp insights and inner knowingness. The Lynx. This is also, I mean, there's a Lyran card in this deck, but that's kind of what I'm feeling, and I do want this card. Claim your abilities. You may resonate with Lyran energy. You could be Lyran, but I'm actually feeling more of this real resonance with Lyran energy, and I feel that they are heavily working with you right now. I feel like you actually have some really important Lyran individuals in your life, and they are helping you reach this achievement. They are encouraging you to claim your powers. Look at this, more bird energy here. To sing your unique song, because no one else can do it the way that you can. Skunks have a really potent smell, and I don't know why I feel compelled to tell you this, but skunks have always reminded me, and not like the most pleasant way, but it reminds me of the smell of coffee. And so I feel like the message there for you is that truly what may repel someone else may make someone else stop and go, what? Like, you might plant a seed, no matter how potent or out there your message or your scent, whatever it may be, no matter how potent it is, you're being encouraged to share it, because no one else is sharing this. Like, no one else is sharing this, dude. girl, person, no one else is sharing this. You're the one who's supposed to be sharing it, and they're waiting for you. No pressure, but they're waiting for you. Okay, we're going to get a few more cards here to end your reading. These are cards of encouragement, and then I also feel like we should get you a sacred geometry card for activation at the end of your reading. So thank you so much, Spirit of Water. What final messages of encouragement, or whatever, actually, whatever you want to come through for group 1, please and thank you. Please don't forget there are 7 other readings for you. So, this is the most amazing thing I could think of being a part of right now in my journey. 7 other incredible human beings who are each channeling a different element, who each have their own beautiful, unique way of sharing Spirit's messages. And honestly, some of them I'm just in awe that I'm even getting to like share in this beautiful space with them. So all of that's in the description box below. But I cannot recommend it enough. Every single person that I'm doing this collaboration with is on another level. It's so beautiful. Also, the number 8, repeating 8s have been a really heavy theme with the group of us doing this. So, expanding inner power. Wow. We have rewiring the nervous system. Yeah, this is what you're going through right now, and this is why it's so painful. We have opening my mind. Yeah, and that's what you are being called to do. Your mind is being opened, and so you are opening the minds of other people by speaking your truth and being your unique anamorph self. What kind of anamorph are you? Please tell me. Please tell me. Okay, and then finally here, uncovering confidence. And then we have unraveling codependency. I'm hearing this is how the Spirit of Water really wants to work with you specifically right now. I'm getting the triple goddess, maiden mother crone, knowing that you and source, like that's it. You don't need anyone or anything else. There is so much freedom in discovering that you are your own best friend, and like you've got source and your guides and your angels, you've got all these homies and you don't have to be codependent on anyone or anything. They're really putting an asterisk by that. Anything. Is there a thing that you feel kind of dependent on to maybe get through the day or get through these hard emotions? And they're saying now's the time to look at that. Now is the time to look at this. They're asking for you because you're such a powerful guide. Group 1, you are such a powerful guide for other people. And so they're just asking for you to look at what kind of needs unraveled here that just does not serve you anymore. That's not, like I'm hearing, it's not helping you, it's hindering you. And I feel this with a lot of love, but the Spirit of Water is really wanting to work with you to help unravel this. And it says, only I have to feel good about my choices. So I feel like this thing or things, whatever these final things that you're kind of unraveling from your soul so that you can give yourself, like you are the only one that needs to validate yourself. You are the only one that needs to be pleased with what you put into the universe at the end of the day, because your heart has already been weighed and measured and is light as a feather. You have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. And I really feel the need to say, like, you're safe now. You're on the path now. You've worked so hard to get here. And they're so proud of you. Like, they're so proud of you. You chose to do all of this. And you're still choosing. and you're choosing love, and you're choosing yourself. And by choosing all of that, you're choosing source, and there's like nothing more beautiful than that. Love. So let's get one final card here to kind of help activate you. Thank you, Spirit. One final card for group 1. I'm hearing we may have a light language activation with this as well. I'm actually feeling that pretty strongly, so. Thank you, Spirit of Water. All right. Thank you, Spirit of Water. Final card to help activate group 1 as they move ahead with their day. Conception. Okay. So I want to make sure you can see it okay. So it says, the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. It's number 16, which reduces to a 7. And I feel like that number 7 is a very important confirmation for someone. The number 7 is creator and and self. And that's also why I have the Manas rune here on our table. So if you will, go ahead and take a deep breath with me and close your eyes. In through your nose. Lakata o dia ka tsumba ka ta on do hesi e no to ko to ne me ka ta ka ta ka to shama da ka to o ka ta ke ta ka to shun ta sha I ala o ta ang ka shun o da ham ba ta ni ka ta ka ta so do la ka ta me ka ta e sha ka ta ka ta esa kata to kondo te kapa e mut kata se na ko chuchu ko puta esa na mai ta kanto to wa yo e ta pa ta ka to wa ka ta ko to wa e to ko to wa e yes na mana sanana ne shua. Okay, thank you so much, Group 1. Thank you for spending your precious time here with me. If this reading resonated with you, I would love to hear how. Please like, share, subscribe. Those are totally free ways if you feel called to help support the channel so I can keep doing what I am most passionate about, which is bringing you messages like this. And please don't forget to check out your 7 other readings in this beautiful 8-element collaboration here. It's all in the description box, and I, more than anything, am wishing you peace and love on your beautiful anamorphic journey, and please take excellent care of yourself. I'll see you soon. Hi, Group 2. I am so grateful to be spending this precious time with you. So you actually received 2 cards. And these are pretty miraculous. First of all, I already know that you know you're a light worker. I feel like you probably would not be here, but in case you didn't know, you are. And I'm getting strong Pleiadian energy here. So that might be a collective that you really resonate with. It says, are you trying to save someone? Let it be. Raise your frequency instead. And when I was meditating on your pile, I saw this turtle just slowly making its way down, like, I guess kind of a gravel or dirt path. And the sun was so bright beating down on this turtle, and it just kind of had its head up, just trudging along. I felt like that was a really important message for someone in particular. And if you're here from pile 1, then that's further confirmation for you. When I get this energy of needing to remind yourself that the only person you need to try and save is you, I actually feel just like the cactuses on here, this kind of prickly feeling. Like, well, if I'm not going to help other people, then who is? Because there aren't, I wish I could say there were more people in the world that operated from a viewpoint of wanting to help people in a healthy way, but there really aren't. And you are someone who just sees people, and you see what they need, and you see all the ways in which you could help them and all the different ways that you can navigate that. And I just feel Spirit telling you, I don't think you're looking at this from all possible perspectives. Yes, you could be doing this. Yes, you know how to navigate in the dark. Yes, you know how to keep from getting stuck. But maybe those cactus splinters, I don't know what they're called, I'm so sorry. Maybe that's exactly what someone needs to get them on the right path. And if you're constantly helping them maneuver without getting stuck, then they don't know what getting stuck feels like, and then they don't know how to heal from that. I hope you see what I'm saying. So it's really not in any way to shame you or make you feel like you're doing something wrong. I think at the end of the day here, Spirit's wanting you to look at this from a different perspective, because I feel like you could be funneling all of this energy that you have to help others or save others, even in some degree. And first of all, they're telling me, and I mean this, I know this is a hard message. I say this with so much love, but they're telling me that this could actually be kind of I don't want to say a coping mechanism, but an escapism mechanism. It's not that you don't do the work on yourself. Clearly you do. But I think some of the really, really yucky stuff, you've kind of been operating from a place of, I see it, I know it's there, and I can move through that in service. I can move through that by helping other people not have to deal with that. And that's beautiful. Like, you're literally operating from your heart space. There's nothing more beautiful than that. That is the point. I just feel like screaming that. That is the point. But it's again this balance energy, and we get that so much from water. This is a reading of messages from the spirit of water, and water can cleanse, it can restore, it can nourish, it gives life, and it can also destroy. There's that balance that has to be found all the time. And the cacti, the cactus here in this picture are really standing out to me for you, because I think you consider yourself someone who has a lot of reserves. You're able to store a lot of energy inside so that you have that energy to give to others. But what you may not fully see is that you kind of have some of these cactus stickers on yourself as well. And it's a protective mechanism. It's a protective mechanism, and it's another way to kind of escape looking at the really, like the moon card, looking at the stuff that we really don't want to look at. I feel the emotion in my throat chakra just trying to get this message to you. So if you are really struggling just accepting or hearing this message right now from the pain, I need you to know that I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much love and energy right now. And I want you to know that, like, I've been here. I see you. I feel you. I get it. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm going through another one right now. It's like, sometimes I ask my own guides, I'm like, when does this stop? When does this need to look at the pain and transmute it, does it ever end? And it does. It does. But we're kind of here at the tail end here, and so we have to look at it all. If you have stuff that has been buried for 37 years, it's time to look at it now. And they're not saying this to hurt you or to cause you pain. The contrary, I'm hearing. It's to help you see it and remove it forever. So these things can't hold you back anymore. So you can literally peel back this cactus suit, and all of the goodness and water and nourishment that is inside of it that you've been holding on to can be given to yourself and other people. You are kind of inherently you are this water reserve, this energy reserve for other people. And it's like, I almost see spirit wanting to like build a fence around you until you see that you need to be saving this and giving it back to yourself. Okay, the lotus is coming up here. Lotus energy, you know what they always say this, a lotus grows up through the mud and then it emerges from the mud, and when it blooms, it is absolutely pristine. There is not any mud. It is pristine. And they need you to know that you're going through this very same experience right now. Right now, you're kind of breaking through the mud. That's how close you are. To give you an example, they're saying to give you an example of how close you actually are to the full pristine bloom state, you're breaking through the surface now, and that is something to celebrate. That is also connected to the moon card. That means that these things that have been buried, that we've been able to kind of hide in the mud as we've been growing, they can't be hidden anymore. Ooh, that's a big message. And some of these things are in your, well, they're all in our brain, but they're giving me EMDR therapy. And I think if you are someone who is, who goes to therapy, has a therapist, if you're here doing tarot readings, then I can only imagine that you would be open to something like this. And I personally have found it life-changing. So what EMDR therapy helps you do is it's with rapid eye movement. It's one way that they can do this, but you move your eyes back and forth like you're following, I don't know why I can't think right now, like you're following a dot that's moving back and forth. As you're following that, you're recalling a painful memory. And now I have to say, like, I really would not encourage you to do this on your own, even though there's stuff on YouTube, just because there's so much prep work that goes into what you need to kind of rehash and organize these memories, these painful memories, before you move into the EMDR portion. But what it does, they've discovered, is it helps your brain take these files or traumas or memories that are painful and hard to look at. They basically look at that as a file that got filed incorrectly in your brain, because in the heat of a trauma it just got shoved there and stuck there, and it's not filed correctly. So now, because you can see it, it's like it's crumpled, it's sticking out of the drawer. Every time anything remotely painful that could even possibly be connected to that drawer, that file is misplaced or crumpled up in, it's an immediate trigger, because you can see it. You can see the crumpled up paper. I hope, and the paper is the memory. I hope this is making sense. So what EMDR does is it helps you go back into that filing cabinet, take that memory and put it and file it correctly and shut the door. You don't lose the memory, but it takes the trigger away. And I feel like that would be very beneficial for someone listening out there. It's changed my life. So many things have changed my life, and that is hands down incredible. Absolutely incredible. I could not recommend it more, but I sincerely recommend you find a practitioner who's skilled in this, because we're talking about pain that is so deep and so difficult that we can't face it, right? So don't try to, like, I guess what I really feel called to say is, like, don't try to force yourself to do this kind of work on your own, because you don't have to. You don't have to do this painful work on your own. Somebody needed to hear that. So for messages from water, I am going to use this brand new deck from Rebecca Campbell called the Healing Waters Oracle. And yeah, so thank you, Spirit of Water, guides of Group 2. What else do you want them to know? What other messages do you have for Group 2? Please and thank you. Spirit of Water, I'm truly grateful for this time with you right now. Look at this. We have the rainbow. Oh my gosh. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. And at the bottom, we have Ride the Wave. Life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Yeah, I do want this card. The rainbow. This is gorgeous. I feel like you've been in your moon phase for a really long time. Even as a light worker, even with all the work you've been doing and all the healing you've been giving other people, I still feel like there is a large part of you that has been operating in this moon phase. And all I mean by that is where things maybe feel a little heavier than you would like for them to. This is, to me, with the rainbow next to it, the biggest confirmation that you are this lotus breaking through the mud at this moment. And they're reminding me how quickly, once you break through the mud, that you begin to blossom. Blossom. That word, or it could be a name of someone that's coming through right now. Very, very specific. Or a TV show. Maybe you liked that TV show in the 90s, Blossom. So that's a very specific, just so you know. I am feeling there is something kind of new and exciting and surprising on the horizon for you. This definitely feels like something you've been manifesting, something you've been looking forward to, and it actually feels like, I'm just going to say what they're telling me, like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's how it feels right now for me. I feel like you have this, again, they're giving me words and phrases I don't normally use, but I feel like you have this niggle inside that something is, like there's this wave about to crest, that you're about to catch this wave. If you were a surfer and you're prepared for it and you see it and you're like, this is going to be my rainbow. And they're saying, yeah, this is going to be your rainbow. Like they are confirming that for you. I feel like you have just had so much, you have operated from so much lack and fear in your past that you need this confirmation, because I don't feel like you're someone who inherently can. I feel like you have trouble believing that, and that's okay. I am that person. I get it. But there's something really remarkable, like on this crest of this wave. This all feels very, as far as timing, I mean, whenever you're watching this feels very soon. This feels very fast. And I feel like this is why they're kind of giving you, I felt like they were giving you a little bit of tough love up here in the beginning of your reading. And now I'm feeling like that's necessary because this is coming in so quickly. They don't want you to have any of this stuff attached to what is coming in for you, because it is like, so, it's so big. It's so big and it's so good. It's so big and good and beautiful. Like these adjectives that keep coming through. Ooh, Selkie. Come out of hiding. Embrace who you really are. Yeah, if you're here from pile 1, this is totally extended reading for you. So that's cool. There's someone in your life with red hair who is important to you. And I feel like this individual, it could be dyed, it doesn't have to be natural. And they're also saying it doesn't necessarily have to be red. It could be someone with like really bright, interesting hair, but mostly red. So I feel like this is, there's 2 different camps here. For some of you, this redhead is a person who is a big motivator for you, who has encouraged you to step into your shadow, to see it, to make friends with it, to be your most authentic self, to put yourself out there. And this is a person that you want to emulate, that you are so proud to know. You're just like, I feel like, oh my gosh, this person, like, is this person really my friend? That's how it feels. And this person is an amazing guide in this life for you. And then there's a totally separate camp of people who have had a redhead in their life that was basically all the opposite things of what I just described. They caused you pain and heartache. They were cruel to you. They put you through the ringer. They made you feel small. They made you feel like you were never, ever, ever going to be anything of even remotely of who you wanted to be. And both camps of people who have experienced this, they're saying it was all intentional. Because your soul needed that kind of person. And now I know that's really hard to hear, especially if you're dealing with trauma from whoever this was. But something Spirit gave me a while ago that has really helped me a lot when I deal with energies and people in my life like this is to remind me that when we sign up for this earth walk, a lot of times soul family members will sign up for parts, to play parts in our lives to cause friction and discomfort in order to get us to grow into the person that we have chosen to be in this life. And they usually remind me that in some weird, messed up way, those souls are some of the souls that love us the most, because they chose to sign up, and one of their biggest purposes to be someone who caused us a shitload of pain, right? And it's just like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis. Like, you can't open the chrysalis. They have to get through the chrysalis on their own, or their wings will never be strong enough to fly. And so I feel like the individual that Spirit is bringing forward for you, however you view them, however they treated you, please know that holding on to anger or animosity, or on the flip side of that, like looking up at them on a pedestal, none of that is for your greatest good, because this individual was to get you where you needed to be, because you are so freaking powerful. I mean, I have this wash over me of just knowing how powerful you are. And then this card, follow the stream, dedication, trust, future rivers and oceans. And I'm really struck here, and I don't know if you can see it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this like upside down. But there's this, oh gosh, is this an anemone? Is that what this is? These are so ancient. In the spiral of life, And these are some of the truths that you have come to share here and to be this frequency holder of for others. People are going to look at you as this, the words I'm hearing are rock star guide, because you have like been through the depths and back. You have ridden every single wave. And now that you've like gotten, while the wave is coming, okay, so this card is so crazy for what I'm getting. You just see this stream, but here truly there's like this mountain wall of water with this, I hope, is this ammonite? Thank you so much, Spirit, not anemone, ammonite. This spiral ammonite here in the center of this wall, this tsunami coming towards you. You follow the stream to get you here, and it's not scary. It's like it's to get you on the right wave to the rainbow. This is wild. Ammonite. So anemone is actually the name of a mermaid, now that I'm realizing what I was saying. And I'm gonna show you my mermaid friend. I really wanted to put her in our reading, but I just did not have space. So she's sitting here next to me. And Anemone was a mermaid who, I want to say, if I remember correctly, Poseidon claimed. And there's a big story about, I just heard for another time, but Melusine and Anemone and Poseidon, that may be something really interesting for you for a rabbit hole for you to go down. I feel like could be some clues there for you, but they did say for another time. Okay. And this is because I'm going to put these cards back to make sure I bring up what I feel they are wanting me to bring up. And this is some past life information. So we're going to continue using this deck, but I am feeling Atlantis, if I'm being honest with you. I'm feeling Atlantis energy, and I'm also feeling some wounding from Atlantis. I feel different factions were working for and against each other in Atlantis, and I feel there was a lot that led to its destruction. And I just kind of want to see what comes up here, because I'm just feeling this for you, group 2. I'm feeling very strong Atlantis vibes, past life Atlantis vibes that I think need to be brought up. So please and thank you, Spirit. Spirit of water. Thank you so much. The sacred well. Okay. It says self-care, replenishment, giving from a place of plenty, which is exactly what we were talking about right here. Wow. Okay. That is remarkable. I feel like they're saying, don't forget this message, because this is one of the main messages here. You've got to stop giving to other people. Like, again, if you're here from group 1, it's time to take a break. It's time to take a break. You're not going to lose anything. Let it go. Forget, release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. Again, the tsunami wall. So I really do feel like this is Atlantis. The healing lagoon. Let's see here. So let it go. Release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. We have the water oracle. Yeah. Psychic abilities, acting on visions. It's destined. And also the sirens. We were just talking about mermaids. Use your voice, expansion, and freedom. So you could very much resonate with mermaid energy. You could feel like you had a past life as a mermaid. I'm definitely getting that you were involved. You were very likely involved in some kind of faction as a mermaid with those that you lived with your family, in some kind of war that was going on in Atlantis. Again, this power struggle of greed and power and against goodness and love. And I feel that there are more ammonites here. That is unreal. And another wall of water. When we think about Atlantis a lot, we think of it being destroyed, that it's underwater. And me personally, I have had visions and journeys where that is a tsunami is what I have seen. And funny enough, one of my biggest fears has always been a tsunami, and I live in the middle of the United States. Like tornadoes, that should definitely be a fear, but tsunamis, it's never made sense to me until I started doing my past life work. I really have to look up this ammonite that's so prominent in your reading. So if you'll just bear with me for a second, like I can't move on from it. It is a fossil. Let's see. So it's, they're used for protection, evolution, and continual change, which seems kind of obvious. The sacred spiral. I'm going to look up ammonite water and see what that means. Okay, so this is really crazy. Most ammonites date back like 420 million years, and I feel like that number is also significant for someone. Ammonites, it says, ammonite raises awareness of our intertwined ancestral destinies, continuously undergoing a cycle of rebirth. Their intricate spiral shaped shells expanded to support every new stage of life. The properties: clarity, cleansing, dream work, intuition, psychic abilities, and spiritual growth. It's related to the root chakra and your third eye. And it also has to do with past life work and is associated with the sign Aquarius. This says that the affirmation for ammonite is, I trust that I am on the right path. And I feel like that also came up in your reading. There's a lot, I think it would be worthwhile to do some past life regression work and see if anything surrounding Atlantis comes up for you. But I don't feel it as intensely as I did for the past life work for pile 1. I do think it would be worth looking at and navigating. They're telling me this now, Melusine. So there is a key there for you. They're really encouraging me to encourage you to look that up on your own, because you're going to find information that's particular to you as you look it up. But there is something really significant there for you. I also think it would just be great if you could get yourself one of these, because clearly you are very connected to this fossil. I think that's beautiful. So we're going to leave that there with the Atlantis stuff, and I would like to get some information on any animal guides working with you, and then possibly wrap it up with some affirmations and a sacred geometry activation. So for group 2, please and thank you, Spirit. From the Spirit of Water, what guides are working with group 2 and what information needs to come through? Please and thank you. Further information. They're also telling me I need to use the Starseed deck, so we'll do that as well. I feel like you could be someone who naturally works with the moon cycles a lot. Also, I I have heard this for one other person, but the moon may actually be one of your guides. Like, the moon may actually be one of your specific guides. Oh, wow, that came out really interesting, didn't it? Oh my gosh, we're asking water and we get a water card. Number 24, Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. 24 reduces to a 6. And so I feel like there's something from your past that needs revisiting. There's an idea or a passion from your past that you need to revisit. It's something that you loved unconditionally. And it could be painting. It could be like buying, really, it could be like buying those little craft birdhouses at Walmart and painting them. Or maybe that's just something that you need to do to get yourself back, like get those creative juices flowing again, to just sit and have fun and paint something. Because no, it's definitely something from your past that they want you to revisit. And for most of you, I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they do want these. All three? The top two. Okay, thank you. All right, let's see what's on the bottom. Starfish, thank you. Open to infinite possibilities. I mean, of this huge deck, and you're getting water elements. Ooh, look at this. Mouse spirit and brown bear spirit. And so we have number 9. Again, 6 and 9. This 369 theory with Nikola Tesla came up again in pile 1. This is really interesting. So mouse spirit, number 40, tend to the small things. And brown bear spirit, number 9, take time out. Water your garden, take time out. You're at the end of a cycle here, about to move into a brand new one. And I don't think you're actually going to be able to see, yeah, with what they're wanting you to do this like inner child work, this playing. I don't think you're fully going to be able to get the spark of the fullness, the totality of what this idea is, unless you let yourself rest. Tend to the small things. It's kind of giving me, yeah, it's giving me this energy of maybe you haven't like plucked your eyebrows. If this is something that you used to do, or if it's been on your mind, like I should probably do this. So if it's, this is just an example, but if you haven't plucked your eyebrows in a long time and it's been bugging you, like I just need to sit down and do this. That is something that is taking care of yourself, right? And that is tending to the small things. I feel like these are some of the things that like your body and the essence of you needs for you to take a time out and give back to yourself. You have all these reserves for other people and you're not using them on yourself. That is the whole message they're saying. That is the whole message. You have all these reserves and you're not using them on yourself. You're placing them in certain places. You're giving them to people, but you're not using them on yourself. And that's where we need you. That is where the spirit of water in particular is wanting to work with you. This inner child thing continues to come up. I don't think you got to play. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you really got to play when you were a kid. This is coming back up in your reading, and so we're just going to put her back right here. Water your garden. Thank you, Spirit. And surrender to the sweetness of life. More water. Venus energy. Pleasure, joy. Make love to life. This is what they're saying. And perspective. Zoom out. None of this matters. Earth is also very important. I think because you naturally do such a good job at like everything, that the idea of pausing and taking a break here in this chapter of your life doesn't feel that great. And I also feel like you have a habit of going hard on what you're working on. No matter if you're working on helping a person or if you're working on a project, if you're trying to load your groceries in the car a certain way, I just feel like you go hard to do things really well. Yeah. And like I'm hearing regal, like you've got this, you have all this. Again, they need you to have yourself. Everything literally ripples from your heart space. You are this bear energy, this protective and fierce, and you want to wrap people up and like nurture them and care for them. But man, you can't do that if you're this like skinny little bear barely getting around, because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not resting. You're not eating. You're not like doing the things that you need to do. I'm hearing like this bear is not sharpening their nails or whatever on a tree, and that makes them vulnerable to attacks. It's the very same with you. I do feel like spirit, in the spirit of water, it doesn't feel mean. I do feel like it's just a strong nudge. Like, hey, we really need you to hear this because you're at like the tail end here and you don't want to go into this new, abundant, like really incredible next chapter of your life drained. Yeah, I mean, that's like the whole message. Again, there's more Jupiter energy here and more Lotus energy. New beginnings. You have new beginnings right around the corner. They're like right around the corner. And they don't want you to be exhausted when they show up. Also, there's another message here they're saying before we go on to these cards. Thank you. Would you look at that? I wonder if you can see this card. It says, I find strength in surviving my traumas. And you have done this. With the perspective card, you go so hard at everything that you do with purpose because you want to. Because you want to do a good job. Because other people have not done a good job for you. So you're going to do a good job for everyone else. And their dog. And I really need to tell you how beautiful your heart is, because you didn't have to choose to be this good, kind, giving, nurturing person. You did not have to choose to do this hard, shitty soul work. And yet here you are doing it like every day, going hard. That is the word. It's like in italics and neon in my head. You go hard. And what if you could just be soft for a little bit? What if you could just let yourself be soft for your heart's sake? Because everything we do goes through our heart chakra, our heart channel. When we're channeling, when we're pulling cards, it's not coming through my third eye. My intuition is not coming from my third eye and my crown. These are antennas. They help. But my heart space has to be clear in order for these messages to come through in the way that they need to, in a clear way. And that's why this is all symbiotic. It's all working together. And the kind of, I'm getting like this cog in the wheel is you not kind of surrendering to the sweetness of life, not surrendering to watering your garden. I know that you do some things to water your garden, and I'm hearing do more. Please. Please, for the collective, for yourself, do more for you. It says, I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Wow. Wow. Uncovering confidence. I'm hearing, or I'm being reminded of the poem The Missing Piece by Shel Silverstein. And wow, it's like, I feel as though you may have been working so hard to find your missing piece, person, place, or thing that kind of makes all this worth it, and all this, it's okay that I went through all this because I got my missing piece, whatever that was. And you like, when spirit has told you that what you're looking for is right under your nose, it's because it is, because it's you. You are the missing piece. You are the missing piece, and it's only missing because you haven't fully seen yourself as that piece yet. And once you realize that, like, it's you, it's just you, then you're going to see you have no other choice but to take more care of yourself. Wow, you're really incredible. There's a lot of pink energy here, and I'm hearing high heart portal. I have a friend who channels this information, and I will try to link that in the description box below, because I do feel like there is some work that could be done on your high heart portal or high heart chakra. All right, thank you, Spirit of Water. Thank you. Any further messages for group 2? Growing Beyond Guilt just flew out on the Water Your Garden card. So for some of you, you may feel guilt about doing more for yourself. For some of you, you may have small children, or you could have like family members or friends or coworkers, or for some of you, I'm hearing your next door neighbor's dog, and you're just like, how could I possibly take more time out for myself from all the things I'm already doing? You feel guilt about that. That they're just saying, like, that's got to go. It couldn't have happened any other way. For the trauma that you endured, and this could go back to that redhead, the trauma that you endured could not have happened any other way. I feel like they need to reiterate that for you, because it's painful, and hearing that might feel really painful. But again, you could not have grown to where you are without encountering that dissonance, that resistance. That resistance is what helps you get to where you want to be, which is where resistance is not, right? And if you never experienced resistance, we'd all just kind of be hanging out in Lemuria like we were. I mean, yes, Lemuria and Atlantis and Avalon, these places were magical. They are incredible. They still exist in another realm. And in Lemuria, people had trouble actually completing having children, because many of them were just in this perpetual bliss state. And if it didn't feel good, they didn't do it. That led to a lot of stagnation as well as negative resistance. Things weren't growing. And so something my grandma used to always say, all sunshine makes a desert. And I would get so aggravated when she'd say that, because she always would say it when things were kind of shitty, right? And it's like, that's the last thing I want to hear. But it's so true. We cannot be in this perpetual state of bliss all the time, or we will never, ever grow. And I know that we are moving towards that in this ascension, but we have to think about how far we've come to get to this ascension. It's just amazing. So I hope that helps put that into perspective. Amplifying abundance. And they want this here with the electric eel. You nurturing your inner child and playing, creating with your hands, art. Again, they're bringing me to you painting a birdhouse. That is what is going to bring in abundance for you, because it gets you out of this cycle of doing and being all the things, feeling guilt for watering your garden, right? It gets you out of that cycle. And if that's all you can do this week, is to sit down for half an hour in the evening and work on your little birdhouse. Please do that. Please. Like, please do so much more, but if that's all that you can do, please do that, because that's, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it the second you start working on whatever brings your heart joy, and you're going to realize, yeah, this is how I bring in abundance. This is truly how I bring in abundance. And then we have polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. This is so important, and you know this, but this is like really what you're going through in this painful, like, coming out of a chrysalis. And again, you're having another moment like this. Polishing my heart, that high heart portal we were talking about, getting all of this stuff, like the stuff that's been hidden in the mud, it's coming up with you as you're about to blossom, and it can't be uncovered. It can't be hidden anymore, is what I meant to say. It can't be hidden anymore. It's uncovered now. We have to look at it because we're blooming. We can't stop the blooming process. You've been working on this for millennia. I mean, it's happening now, and it's time to look at it. You're just polishing up these last remnants of pain, and you're doing it by feeling and by playing and by seeing how beautiful and divine you are. I keep hearing what a reservoir, what a reserve of this beautiful energy and water. Like, water is coming through for you. You are this cleansing water to many people. Your energy in and of itself is cleansing to other people. Know that your mere existence helps other people heal, and with that, recognize the responsibility you have to replenish yourself. Because I know that your heart wants to give that to other people. But the cliche is a cliche for a reason. You can't pour from an empty cup. Our final card for your reading, group 2, is going to be a sacred geometry activation card. And this is to help activate you on the next leg of your journey that you're moving into. Is this beautiful, pristine lotus who has been through the mud. And so I encourage you, when we get this card, to gaze at it, to take deep, mindful, grounding breaths. And again, like pile 1, I'm being called to channel light language when we get our cards, so that way you may have a full activation into your next chapter to help integrate and move through all of these energies that you're transmuting right now and that you're getting ready to move into brand new ones. So we have 2. Which one would you like, Spirit? They said both of them. Okay. And then I just heard some little squeak for confirmation. So we have romantic love, which is interesting. That has not come up yet in this reading. And also communication. Number 14 and number 39. For some of you, I feel like you may be 39 years old or getting close to 39. And there is a significant new chapter in regards to romantic love. I'm hearing it. You don't even have to be single. This could be something that happens in a current relationship, an up-leveling or a changing. I'm hearing a dramatic changing. And this has to do particularly with how you are changing your communication style. Your communication style, I feel, has been undergoing a metamorphosis over the last 5 years. And in particular, it's become more balanced and more pure, more flowy, and more accepting. And with this, over time, is going to bring different kinds of communication with different people. And they're saying, we'll leave it at that. So if you will go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep mindful breath in through your nose for about 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 2 to 3 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth for about 4 to 5 seconds. And either keep your eyes closed or you can focus on the cards. In Nakatatos Baboishini Kakataya Katotondoyam Batsanania Tashi Takatosna Alakata on Oyo to Oshun that Takamuto Ekalakatonse Yeta Taskam Tatakamuta Takete Pata on to shoot Tanada Ishakatata Eta the water Katakin Joto Tombap in Untuta Isinabakata that was a Alaka te ashana totoi te empa alaka ea se indui nduba au se akatashne mia totoata bea shununua tega utekanea yatatahinga ushashunabakata suta Isa tatatua titsin un ud tikampata shinepet un to sebe. Ese tatakondua de ala gantet chunda sineta. Ese yenanakateta. Thank you for spending your precious time with me here. If this reading resonated, I would love to hear about it and connect with you. Please like, share, or subscribe if you feel called. Those are completely free ways for you to help me grow and expand my channel so I can bring you more content like this. And please don't forget, this is part of an 8-element collaboration that I am doing with 7 other incredible readers here on YouTube that honestly, it's like a dream come true that I'm a part of this in any way. I'm so grateful. All of that information is in the description box below, so don't forget you have like 7 other readings out there attached to this one. And I am just so grateful for you and the energy and the frequency that you hold here for all of us. Thank you so much. And more than anything, please take excellent care of yourself. And I'll see you soon. Hello, Group 3. How are you? I am so excited to be starting your reading. And look at your first card. We have dragons, bless you with fierce protection. I can already tell the energy in this reading is different than the first 2. And so I'm excited to see what comes through because the first 2 readings were really pretty cool. So yeah, welcome. Before we get started, boy, we got really smoky here, some dragon energy. Before we get started, I want to remind you about that this is a huge collaboration reading. This is the 8 elements reading, and I am one of 8 creators collaborating on this. So all of the information to get your other 7 readings, you have 7 other readings, is in the description box down below. And I'll probably bring this up again because it's truly like the individuals that I'm collaborating with here it's a dream come true for me. It's next level. And so I'm really, really excited for you to get all of your messages. So As we begin, the element of water wants to begin with your dragons. Do you know you have dragons? Do you know that you're a dragon rider? I only know this because they're giving it to me right now. This is pretty cool. The element of dragons, dragon energy. There is so much about dragon energy that just... It's not only ferocious and fierce, it's also just this, it feels so wise. I have a dragon, and her name is Camille. She came to me and gave me her name, as all of my guides do. And I love to look up the meanings of the names of my guides when they come to me. In fact, I just feel like telling you right now, I got to look this up real quick because I have several beautiful guides, and I'm trying to remember what Camille's name meaning was, because after she gave it to me, it's the priest's helper. That's what it means. The priest's helper. And so when I came out of my meditation and we had reunited, and it was honestly one of the most beautiful experiences of my life, reuniting with her. And I came out and I Googled her name. I sat there with my mouth slack-jawed for probably 5 minutes, which is what happens every time that happens. So if you haven't connected with your dragon yet, or dragons, I highly encourage you to make a point to do that soon. With this dragon card, I feel like you have had to become a very fierce person. I feel like you're inherently a fierce person, and also your circumstances have exacerbated that. And they're telling me now, they're being very specific with their wording, exacerbated that for you, because your circumstances, this is really interesting. In pile 2, they were talking about some individuals in our lives who one of their main soul purposes is to come here in this incarnation with us as soul family to create dissonance and pain so that we can grow through that to become who we chose to incarnate and come here to become, right? We have to have that, what's the word? Friction in order to grow. In your case, however, it's like they're saying everything happens for a reason, but in your case, I think it was pretty bad. I think you had to learn at a really early age how to be this fierce protector, not only for yourself, but maybe even for your siblings, or just maybe even your mother, your friends. And then this turned into you being the protector. And so I feel this unpenetrable field around you that exudes fierceness. And I do think when you were younger, this probably severely intimidated people, and that was your intention, kind of excuse my language, I talk like this all the time, but since we're on YouTube, kind of this don't fuck with me attitude, don't even try, that's the auric field you had set around yourself. Don't even try. You don't want to try. And what's kind of funny is it's this fierce energy here is kind of in this juxtaposition with this pink bubblegum color. Because I think on the inside, this is making me kind of emotional. I think deep down and as a little kid, you are this pink bubblegum, maybe you played with Barbies, or maybe you wanted to be a vet, or, just you loved animals, this really, you wanted to be in nature, a nature hike. What am I trying to say? A tour guide in nature. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm a brain. is not working. Something really sweet and just pure and soft and gentle, and the world made you. Yeah, you didn't get to be who you were meant to be, and that's changing. They're saying that's changing now. So this is really beautiful energy. They're saying it's all for a purpose. You have cultivated this fierce energy, and you can call on your dragons. You have multiple dragons. This is really fascinating. So they are coming through several times to say you have multiple dragons. I'm honestly, I'm getting that in another life of yours, in more than one, they're saying you have been this dragon. You have actually encompassed, like, you were the dragon and you were a guide for others in your dragon form. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but this is really, like, this is in your DNA, on a soul level. How fascinating. They're saying even on a human cellular DNA level, and I have no idea what that means, how that would be possible. But if you haven't taken time to really study your human lineage and your galactic, please do that too. But like your human ancestry and lineage, I think you might be really surprised to find the kinds of people in your history. Individuals from places that when you see it and put it together, they're saying, you're like, yeah, I could see how, like, dragon energy came from these people. That's kind of what I'm getting. That would be so fascinating. And if that's you and you already know it, will you please let me know? Because this is really cool. So right now, since we're getting messages from water, I'm going to use this new oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell. You're probably familiar with her, with the Starseed Oracle. And we're going to ask exactly what the Spirit of Water, what Mother Water wants you to know right now. What does water want you to know right now? I'm hearing a mending and a healing and a cleansing. So thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit of Water, what is it that you want Group 3 to know? Please and thank you. Group 3. And that one too. We'll leave it turned over for a moment. So at the bottom we have the Well Maidens. Kindness, respect, reverence, compassion. I mean, this is... While you have had to kind of have this electric fence around you, and that has not inherently been who you are, I do feel like that has really been coming down lately. And I also feel a bit of like a little bit of anxiety around that, a little bit of anxiety around that fact that you really are taking your walls down now. And it's kind of like you've peaked on the other side. Look, there's more of this pink energy. It's going back to this softness. It says rejuvenate, recovery, time to heal, it's safe to stop. And then the sacred well, which we had in Group 2. So if you're here from Group 2, hey. Yeah, replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. I kind of feel like you are already aware that the spotlight is on you. It's on you, it's been on you, and it's about to like pour on you. I feel this energy of you almost being in regards to your creation. I mean, you could actually be pregnant, but I feel like this is in regards to kind of your soul journey and what you're creating in this life. I feel like you're at the end of your gestation period and it's about to be born and shown to the world. And with that, the spotlight is like on both of you. One, it's so interesting. It's like right after you have a baby, is it for the first like 8 months or so? The baby does not know itself separate from the mother. And so, like, there is, in the baby's world, there is no baby. It's just an extension of the mother somehow. And I almost feel like that's what this is for you. Like, you can't have one without the other. It's an actual extension of you. And with that, the spotlight is on you. In order for you, which is again a very similar message to pile 2, in order for you to fully, I don't want to say receive, you're receiving what's coming regardless, but in order for you to fully appreciate and absorb and be present with what is about to be born through you, and in turn it's helping you be reborn again as well. In order for this to really have the impact on you that your guides want it to, they're giving me like they're planning this amazing surprise party for you, and they don't want you to show up disheveled and exhausted and just beaten down because you've been working so hard trying to protect yourself and protect everyone else. And give. And they're planning the coolest party for you. And they just want you to be in a space where you're like recharged and replenished. And when it's time for the surprise party, you get to enjoy it. You have been through so much that you deserve to enjoy this. Your guides know this. Your guides have been planning this for you, because who else is going to plan this for you? And who else knows you better than your guides? Like, that's what I'm getting right now. Your guides are your people, and you know this inherently. And they've been planning and working and co-creating with you because you deserve this. I almost want to scream, but I won't because it's really late and my children are sleeping. But like, you deserve every bit of the goodness that's coming for you. Oh my gosh, it's so empowering. It's so exciting. And they are so excited to give you what's around the bend, but you're so tired, man. Girl, like, it's not, I hope you know that. It's just how I talk, but like, you're so tired and you're so close. And can you give yourself enough grace? Can you pause long enough to see that you're covered, that they've got you? You just need to take care of yourself and show up to your party. And like, don't worry about when the party is, because they'll call you and say, hey, it's time. And so all you got to do until that time is take care of yourself and be ready. Okay, they want me to turn this over now. The wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care. Take a breath. Could you say it in any more ways, Spirit? It's safe to stop. Giving from a place of plenty, replenishment. Body care. Take a break. Like, you've been through enough. You've been through enough. And I almost feel this sense that you kind of, like, you inherently feel that you have to put yourself through the ringer in order to feel deserving of good things. And that is, they're saying that's old programming, and it's not true. In fact, it's hindering you. You're aware of this, they're saying. But it's a good reminder and also encouragement and acknowledgement that what you are about to bring forth into this world is going to have a spotlight on it, and you are going to be seen as this beautiful, ferocious, fierce, bubblegum pink dragon. And now if you hate the color pink, it's okay, because it's an energy, right? It's this fierce dragon who's in the sweetest, like, look at these colors, like unicorn colors for a dragon. And this is you, and I'm hearing you've earned your proverbial stripes or scales or whatever. You've earned all this. You've earned this break. You've earned this rest. You've earned this surprise party. You've earned this spotlight. When are you going to start seeing that you deserve all of it? Because you still don't. That's part of what this card in the center is saying. What are you thirsty for? What are you thirsty for? Are you thirsty for ease and recognition and joy and fun and travel and like being seen for your authentic self? Because it's coming. I can tell you that right now, it's coming. And if you, like, if all you knew that all of this goodness was heading your way and was around the corner, what would you be doing? Would you be giving yourself more grace and letting yourself take a deep breath and not worry about kind of like this piddly human stuff anymore, because you know that your guides have it covered? They're so adamant about you knowing this, like, we've got you covered. And also, they are very cognizant of the fact that you have had to live in this survival mode and waiting for the rug to get pulled out from under you for as long as you can remember. And it's not in just this life. It's in many, 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 many lives. Many lives. And these are things you've been working on, but like with anything, it feels like there is still more to accomplish. And what does that mean for you? Like, I feel if you hear there's more for you to do, it's kind of like, okay, what do I got to do? Let's get it over with. What do I got to do? And what you have to do is take care of yourself. Full stop. You need to be taking a bath. You need to be getting a massage. You need to be getting a pedicure. You need to, like, I'm trying to think of what men do. You need to I'm trying to think of what men do that would be relaxing, but like go to the spa, go do some, take a nice walk in nature, whatever it is that speaks to you. You've got to do this to fill your cup back up, to get ready for this wellspring of just, what I heard was wellspring of insanity, but in the best possible way, in all the ways that you have been manifesting it, and then some, in ways that you can't even conceive yet, because spirit is spirit, and why would they ruin your surprise for you? You put in your order, and they're like, we're going to make this sick. We're going to make this sick for group 3, because they deserve it. And you just haven't seen it yet. But it's coming. It's coming. Let's get some starseed cards for you. Thank you. Spirit of water. You also need to be relaxing in water. Is this sitting in a hot tub? Is it sitting in a pool? Is it sitting in a lake, in the ocean? Is it sitting next to a body of water? Is it sitting next to a pond with a bunch of frogs? Frogs chirping. That's not what frogs do they? You know, frogs frogging. That would be really calming for me, because I live in the country. I'm not a country girl, but I do live in the country because that's where I am. So like that's really soothing for me. The sound of summer frogs at night and cicadas and stuff. So, you know, if you can't get into a body of water, can you do something like that? Make time. Interestingly, all 3 of these piles are talking about needing us to prioritize our self-care more, because we're going through an ascension. I keep saying this, and I feel like people think I'm talking like I'm in a cult. And we're going through an ascension that no one has ever experienced, and we can at least say in this lifetime, bare minimum, we can say in this lifetime, we have not experienced an ascension like this. We're experiencing severe ascension symptoms physically, emotionally, mentally, like we're being forced to regurgitate all of the pain and see it and transmute it and give it back to source, because it can't go with us where we're going. Where we're going is too high frequency. It is too bright. It is too pure for all of this other stuff to be, you know, weighing us down. This is not the kind of baggage that we want to take to the new earth. What do you, ooh, that's good. That's good, Spirit. What do you want to pack in your bag to the new earth? And remember that I'm not saying, I don't think that everything's just going to like blow up and disappear and we're going to shoot off into the sky like it's the rapture. I just don't feel that at all. But I do think the world is changing. And with that, our bodies have to change also. So for me, as an example, I have been eating so clean, definitely the last 3 months. And like, this is not my MO. I have struggled with comfort eating and just like comfort food my whole life. And the last 6 months, really, I've noticed like I cannot eat junk food. I'm eating quinoa and cucumber bowls like all the time. I don't drink soda. I quit coffee back in February, and I'm only bringing myself up in this way to say, like, these are some of the ascension symptoms that we're experiencing because our bodies are ascending to a higher frequency. And this is something that is meant to happen. This is something that we as light workers have been working to help this ascension process, and now it's here. Now it's here, and we have to take care of ourselves for the next leg of this journey, which is to be these, especially for this pile, to be these beacons of light, these guides, actual hermits, right? Like, we are holding the lantern. We're going to be holding the lantern. And this is what we signed up to come here to do. And we can't lead very well if we're exhausted and depleted. And I feel like that is the most basic message here. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, wow. Let's see what this is. We had 2 come out and fall on Dragon and the Healing Lagoon. We have your life is a canvas and lost lands. Very interesting. I was feeling, again, more past life energy that needs processed and transmuted here for you. And then also inner earth here at the beginning. You'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. So this is just what we were talking about with ascension and a new earth. With your pile in particular, there are a lot of theories about inner earth people. And in particular, I'm getting the Tuatha De Danann, and they're Northern Europe, Celtic, if I'm recalling correctly. And they eventually were basically ran into inner earth. They were fought and killed, and just their powers that they carried were so threatening to other civilizations at the time that it came down to where the Tuatha De Danann had to move in literally into the earth. So this may be something that like pings inside you that you need to look at closer. That may be a key for you in particular. It's interesting with the dragons here, and then again with inner earth, and then lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. What's really interesting here is I feel like there is a past life wounding related to having to leave the earth in a way that you had known it. Now, whether this is having to transition into your dragon form in some way or another, whether this is more or less feeling as though your people are banished from the outside world and you have to navigate and find a new world inside the earth. Mount Shasta is also coming to mind for me here. Something here is still attached to you from a past life that Spirit is asking for you to heal. I'm hearing very strongly right now that if you have access to any kind of past life regressionist or quantum hypnosis. Now, I also want to be very mindful to let you know that it's very easy to get certified in these things, and it's very important to use discernment with the right person when we are navigating different realms, quantum, jumping, any of this stuff. It's just important to have the right person helping you on that healing journey. And I don't know, I just felt like it was important to mention that. I do think there's an element here that needs to be looked at in order to be transmuted and released that you may not even be entirely aware of yet. I feel like you feel it. And also it's this inner earth connection feels like it's something that keeps you tethered and tied down. I feel like you love the earth, but I also feel like you feel very a density of being connected and tied to it in a way that doesn't feel the best. Another thing that's coming up right now is the music video for Death from Melanie Martinez. And at one point she is trying to, you should really listen to that song and watch the video. It's just amazing. But at one point she is trying to break free so she can soar, and you kind of see this tether break, and then she's able to soar. And I feel Spirit kind of leaning you in that direction of, I think there is a tether there from a very deep, painful past life connection that might have to do with inner earth that they are asking for you to look at so you can transmute that and release that so you can soar, literally. You are an artist, and I'm hearing something that one of the other creators in this collaboration, Colleen with Spiritualistic, she made a comment one time that said at one point in her life she felt like an artist without a medium. And I was like, oh my God, I feel this so hard. And I feel like maybe you could feel this way too at times. But the fact that you know that you are a creator is enough. I feel like you're putting too much on yourself to be a certain kind of creator. I'm hearing the word prolific, and so this might be something to look at. Do you feel this need to be a prolific artist, a prolific creator in order to feel worthy enough to have that label or to even exist? And Spirit and the Spirit of Water is coming through heavily to say, like, let's wash that away, because you're a motherfucking dragon. Like, you do not have to prove yourself to anything. You simply exist, and you exude wisdom and intelligence and just like this, I don't know, like this, I have to say it, it's like this bad bitch energy. Like, yeah, you're doing it. You're just this fierce individual, and you don't need to have any imposter syndrome. You don't need to feel like you've got to come up with the best and most perfect way to do the coolest thing. Like, I know these are like shadow aspects I'm bringing up here, but these are things that I even struggle with. I have a real perfectionism streak, and it's like, if I'm not going to do it absolutely perfect, then why do it at all? And then I can kind of get kind of mean to myself about it. And I just feel the need to tell you that your mere existence is enough. And when you wrap your head around that you don't have to create anything, you are just an artist, medium not required. That's when, like, the good stuff happens. That's when stuff starts getting really cool, because then there's no F's given anymore. And then you're just creating from a place of pure creation. How powerful is that? And this is what you're doing. You're removing the ego. You're looking at all these pieces, these shadow aspects that are like, man, that's cringy. I don't want to look at myself that way. But then you look at yourself and you're like, yeah, I'm human and I'm actually way cooler than what my brain has allowed me to think, what society has allowed me to think about myself. So, yeah, here at the bottom, big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Again, when you realize that you are it, like you are a visionary. The Pleiadian energy, that was kind of coming through already for you, and that's interesting. I would like to get more information on that. Pleiadian energy. In particular, Pleiadian energy working with the element of water. Can we get more information on that for group 3, please? I do feel like the Pleiadians are a significant star nation that you work with. You may have some Pleiadian in your galactic chart, but I actually feel this is more of a collective that's working with you at this point in your journey. I'm hearing yes. Okay. So thank you so much. This is a beautiful deck from my soul sister, Deborah, at the Intuitive Turtle. She created this entire deck, and it is one of the most magical decks I've ever worked with. I'm going to link it down below, and you should just watch her videos because she's incredible. But I just wanted to mention that because this deck is so cool. But thank you, Spirit and Spirit of Water. Can you help us make more sense of this Pleiadian energy? Achievement again. Okay, so they're helping you reach your goals. They're literally helping you reach your goals and get you through this last healing push, this last healing. Ooh, what is this? That Lyrans. Oh, hi. Oh, I love the Lyrans so much. So Pleiadians and Lyrans are working very heavily with you. Oh my. I kind of felt like way more cards could come out. So at the bottom, we have soul family, protection. You're not alone. Again, more dragons and an egg and a rainbow. Like, this is so beautiful. We have the Lyrans working with you. Oh my, let me fix the cards here. We have the Lyrans working with you. The Pleiadians in particular are helping you with your manifestation. Druids inspire, messages from Earth support your journey now. So listen, 111%. You have got to look into the Tuatha Dé Danann, the Celtic, the Druids. I'm sure that your ancestry is probably heavily connected to that now. And there are messages for you there. There is some real past life regression that needs to go on there. And even just meditation I'm getting really excited about this for you, because there's some big stuff that's going to be unlocked here. Oh my gosh, there's going to be some big stuff unlocked here for you. And keys to help activate you to fully realize what you are trying to achieve. In particular with your artistry and what you put out into the world. Okay, I'm excited. Let's see what this one is. Andromedans. Okay. Listen. Would you look at... Listen. Would you look? These cards are so similar with the lavender, the purple, messages. The Druids really want to, and the Andromeda. I mean, you have a lot of different energies coming around here, and I'm getting this is because of who you are. And I said this in another pile, that I do not believe in any kind of like spiritual hierarchy other than Source and us. But your soul is incredibly ancient. It's said that the Lyrans are the oldest the oldest star nation in our system. I've actually been given in meditation that Andromedans are. And now I want to preface everything that I say. Please know this is from my own perspective, and what I have been given is just a guide for you to find the answers that speak to you. But in saying that, I feel pretty strongly that Andromedans may have come first, actually, or at least at the same time with Lyrans. So you have multiple different star nations working here with you in your dragon energy, because I do feel that in this incarnation, you are a dragon incarnated as a human. As wild as that may sound, I feel like your natural energy is actually this warm dragon, because wild dragons are fierce. I cannot stress this enough. When I interact with Camille, my dragon, she is the warmest. So, like, her energy reminds me so much of Falcor from Neverending Story. That is what her energy reminds me of. And I have a feeling a lot of dragons are that way. Probably like any other creature, you know, who's to say? But your past, with the Lyrans here, they need you to know, like, your past and the things that kept you small and kept you kind of prickly and like this electric fence around you. The past is always gone. The past is gone. Even the stuff in your past life that they want you to work through. The druids are amazing at regeneration. And they're literally plowing a field here. And that's what you're doing. It's a reminder to you that you're plowing through all of the baggage, everything you've been carrying around with you from all these lives. And you're in this resting period, where this gestation period, right? What they told us at the beginning, that you're about to come out of, to fully step into the fullness of who you are. This, I don't know why they keep saying it, but this beautiful, like, bubblegum pink dragon. You are so unique. There is no one else like you, and you're exactly meant to be just like this, because, like, I'm getting your song can only be sung by you. There's so much about you that I don't think you're even privy to yet. And much of this has been because you've had to keep this veil of protection around you. Again, not just for you, but I keep hearing for your siblings, for your loved ones. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit of water. What animals are working with group number 3 right now? Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so glad. The bee. Number 7. So this for me, and then lion spirit. Oh, wow. Wow. So courageous. For me, with the bee spirit here, and in conjunction with everything else I'm getting in your reading, I feel a really strong connection with you and the beehive cluster. The beehive cluster, from what I know right now, consists of many beautiful ascended masters, including Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Kali, El Morya, Serapis Bey, Ganesh, there's Buddha, there's many, Kuan Yin, and somehow they're connected to the beehive cluster, and you are also, which is why you have from so many different realms and walks of life and star nations and, you know, just living things and water. This is why you are so immensely connected to all that is, and also protected. And also why you have gone through so much pain in your life. because to be a guide of this caliber requires what you have been through. You could not be this kind of guide if you had not experienced what you had experienced. Just, it's not possible. And your soul was more than ready to accept this. In fact, I'm hearing you saying, sign me up. Send me. Again, 7s are the number of creator and self, and that connection that we have. And I feel like this is reminding you to remember who you are and who you come from. Not only on a human level, not even on a soul level, but like this galactic level. Actually, all of it together, like remembering who you are. And these are really good clues to help you wake up and remember. I feel like the beehive cluster in particular is something you should really look at. You may have had some of the guides that I mentioned coming to you in the last few years or months to work with you, showing themselves to you. And I feel at times you may have even been confused, like, am I going crazy? Is Buddha really like my guide? Is Odin really my guide? You know, these kind of thoughts. And it's like, yeah, because you're one of these guides too. Except right now, you're in your human form. Like, your boots on the ground right now. Do you realize how crazy that is? And how amazing and miraculous? That you, as this dragon, you're more than dragon. I don't know what you are. You're incredible. But like, you chose to come here and in this human experience and go through what you've gone through and endure so that you could be this guide and walk this path that so many have before you. I mean, you're like a miraculous warrior. I feel if you've ever had feelings like you didn't have to incarnate in this life, that's probably true. You probably answered the call like many light workers have and are incarnated right now. I'm also hearing crystal children. You could resonate with being a crystal child. So let's get just a few last cards here for you, I'm feeling. We're going to get some of these affirmation cards, and then we're going to do a sacred geometry activation and light language for your next journey, the new steps on your next journey. So, Spirit of Water, thank you so much. What further messages do you have for group 3? Further messages for group 3. And also, please, while I'm shuffling, and so I don't forget you have 7 other readings in this beautiful 8-element collaboration I'm a part of. When you go look in the description box and see who some of these, not some, all of these individuals that I am doing this collaboration with are, you're probably going to scream, because this is a dream come true for me. And I feel like this could be like a collaboration reading to last you a whole year. I'm so excited for the other readings, but please be sure you don't miss that. And, support their channels. It's such a free and easy way to help our channels expand and grow so we can keep doing this, because it does take a lot of time and energy to do these readings. I love doing this more than anything, but man, it does take a lot. Okay, so we have befriending pain. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. And I do feel like I need to mention that in this journey, that you've got to take this journey. You have to take this meditation. Like, you don't have to do anything, but please, they're saying, like, in this meditation where you go to connect with the druids, with your Celtic ancestors is what I'm hearing in particular. It could be painful. Yeah, it could be painful. It could be painful to remember some of this stuff. It could be painful if you are connected with the Tuatha Dé Danann, to have that vision of being more or less banished into the earth where you know you're not going to see the outside world again, ever. It's that kind of pain. And when you're in that state, you're reliving it. So this isn't to scare you from that whatsoever. It's information, it's awareness, so that you can move through this just like every other thing that you need to navigate. You know, any other pain you need to navigate so you can transmute it and release it. It's the same. It's the same here. Now, I had another card of yours fall down. And this is invoking self-realization. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. And I hope and I feel that this reading is very heavy confirmation for you of things that you've already been given, because I feel this humbleness about you. Like, I say this sometimes because I say this a lot, like, who, me? But yeah, for real, I feel like this needed to be confirmation for you to fully step into your power, because you're like this powerhouse. You are a powerhouse. Interesting. I'm getting an image of an auroch. An auroch, you know, they were a really big bull. They're now extinct. Yeah, powerhouse, dragon. Like, these are big animal energies that they're giving me. And they're saying, because you are a big energy. Remember yourself, they're saying. Remember yourself. I want to get one more card from here, and then we're going to do our activation to help you get activated into this new leg of your journey. One last message here from the Spirit of Water for group 3, please and thank you. One more message, please and thank you. I just not... There we go. Illuminating the truth. And dispelling sadness. Thank you, Spirit. This feels like exactly what's going to happen as you work through this last bit here. As you do, again, I'm hearing like a regressionist, a past life regressionist, or a shamanic journey. If you want recommendations for anything like that, please don't hesitate to message me, because I try really hard to be very discerning with this kind of stuff, and I'm more than happy to like check somebody out for you or answer questions in that way. But illuminating the truth and dispelling sadness, this is what's going to happen. Sweet results await. Like, this is what's going to happen in the course of the next few weeks, I'm hearing, if you choose to work on this right away. That these things that I don't even think all these like tendrils of stuff like pulling on you, I think they're just going to be a thing of the past. For real, forever. Is how that feels. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Yes. I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. You know, there's something so significant about this inner earth people. And also this lion energy, 37, which reduces to a 10. I mean, it's like the end. Oh my gosh, I knew it. And then whale spirit, trust the great mystery, number 65, which reduces to an 11. Spirit is all over your reading. And it's not, how do I word this? It's like divinity, source, divinity is all over your reading. And this is further confirmation to help you see how connected you are to this group of souls, this band of original souls. Take that how it resonates for you, but that's what I'm hearing. So we're going to wrap this up with your activation. Go ahead and get yourself more comfy. Take a deep breath in through your nose for about 4 to 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 2 to 3 seconds. And then exhale through your mouth for 4 to 5 seconds. And feel free to do that as many times as feels good to you. And so I'm going to pull a sacred geometry activation card here. And you can just gaze at the card if you like. You can keep your eyes closed. And I will channel light language to go along with this activation to just help you. Thank you so much, Spirit. Help you on your journey ahead, this next leg of your journey. And we have healing. How beautiful is this? Number 29, another 11, more confirmation that Spirit is with you. You're doing the thing. You are so powerful. You're just, I hope you see how amazing you are. And that this electric fence can be dismantled around you because you're so protected and amazing and fierce and warm. And warm. You're absolutely beautiful. Group 3. All right. Go ahead and gaze at this card. tai undos duet de oto oyoshno be da tato do kodea mae undo tuata tai ngatash nikata toa is nanaway da undo esanakata hushuchi mesinakatoda ya to ese yo doing that to do exact to wash ni da pa da dai da but you number do ya da ka dai da chin da to do it da dai you get the ticket down shnu to do amba pa da we da is that the way da ka go to hu pe dai oi hun ta da o ko to ga shna ka mi ki ka to ko ka na na bishni ni na ta ge ta to ia ta to is na ta to i ka ko ya ta i shna ta o shin to me ta ta i. Thank you so much for spending your precious time here with me. I cannot tell you how grateful I am that I got to share in your beautiful energy here and experience your ferocity, your beautiful fierceness. Please don't forget to check out your 7 other readings in this beautiful collaboration that I'm a part of. And more than anything, please take excellent care of yourself in the days ahead. And like, share, and subscribe as well if you feel called. Those are totally free ways to help the channel and help me grow. And I'm really grateful that I got to share this beautiful space with you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you soon.